I'm HD Page. Here I'm going to give you a little preview of the Wednesday sale, D&H sale on the Breeders' Connection. Lot 1 is going to be G1 Fire Show Son out of Z61, the dam to Hocus Pocus and many more. A really good cow, and the Fire Show stuff has just been lights out, especially when you breed the Fire Show and the Fire Show sons and the Fire Show daughters have just really showed out. As of late, they've been really good, in the futurity especially. I'm going to put this bull in the sale as a breeding bull. It's his right hip, I think, his right leg he's been off on. I can't see anything in his foot or in his hock that shows stifle. I can't see anything that shows to be giving any issues, but there's some muscle up top there that's gone, and he's a little soft on it for whatever reason. We bucked him the other day with a dummy. He's never had a cowboy on him. He's a 5-year-old, but he turned back in the gate to the left and bucked good. You know, just nothing special, but sure nice bull, and sure probably make a heck of a breeding bull, and possibly make a really nice team bull. I'm not going to guarantee him sound, but I'll guarantee that his semen check good, and he'll breed some cows if nothing else. But and his calf sure might be the kind. But lot number 2 is 170H, a lifting live son out of a train wreck daughter that goes back to a really good Western Wishes daughter, 342, 481's her number. This calf, I've never had a cowboy on him, but he's big and stout and handles good. We bucked him a bunch with a dummy, and he loads good. He put him in the chute. He stands good. I wouldn't be afraid to take him anywhere tomorrow. And he bucks, really bucks with the dummy. Probably weighs 1700, and maybe a tick heavier than that right now. But he had a little tick of a horn infection, and it was just right there on the end, but I got it knocked off, and then the horn was hollow, so we've had to fight that, but he's good to go now. He's cleared up and slicked off, and actually he gained too much weight when he was in the hospital pen. He needs to get on a diet, but we bucked him last week, and actually not even last week, probably 3 days ago, and he would have been 90 points with the dummy. Just a lot of up and down, front feet was getting off the ground, 2 foot in there, and he was kicking and bucking hard. Really nice prospect. Like I said, I think he's good enough to probably enter in the classics. He's sure good enough to go to bull riding anywhere, and like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't stand there and take it like a veteran. And like I said, sound and good to go. Lot 3 is going to be G13 breeding bull. This will be a full brother to a lot of nice bulls. Black and Blue, I was trying to remember his name. Black and Blue, a short round bull that we lost a few years ago. A Sweet Pros Bruiser on top and 978W on the bottom. A crazy trained daughter. That mating has worked well for us, and I've bred a couple of this bull's full brothers, and got along great. The calves buck, the cow's a producer, and everybody knows what Sweet Pros Bruiser's been able to accomplish in and out of the arena. So this calf, I would say he's not sound enough to buck, but I'm sure a lot of people would buck him. But when he's out in the pasture moving around, or when you're bringing him up the lane, he looks fine. And when you get him up tight and he gets to making some sharp turns, he looks like he's giving a little bit to me, and his hock's got a little, I don't know if they got fluid on them, but they don't look just perfect. But the calf was outstanding with the dummy. He looks like the old Trick or Treat. He's Bruno Baldy and knock your eyes out, and he bucks a lot like Trick or Treat did. but a lot of front end, a lot of movement up there with his shoulders and head. He moves his head from one side to the other and gains some momentum and really kicks through it when he's coming around there. I think his calves will be pretty slick. He's got a unique style, but he's 9-0. When he's bucking, he's doing it, and I bet his calves will do it. Like I said, his full brothers have produced, and I think he'll produce as well. The next lot is 4 39E Buck Norse, a lightning rod son out of 39 cow. Probably, if not the best cow, one of the best cows on the ranch. She just hasn't missed, and Buck Norris is no exception. He's won a pile of money. I think he went over 100,000 in his competitive years, and he bucked hard at all levels. And the thing about him, he's always been a little hit and miss, but his calves haven't been. His calves have been pretty daggum salty, and you can still buck 39E. He's not crippled. You just can't count on him to be 92 every time. That's just part of him. He'll be 92 once, and then he'll buck where they could be 85 on him the next time, and for no rhyme or reason. And you can buck him you can put him on the left, and he'll be a bad sucker, and you can put him on the right, and he'll be as bad a one as you've ever put a flank on. But that comes with him. He's just got that little hit and miss deal. It was with him when he was a calf, and he's never really grew out of it. He might buck 5 times as hard as you ever seen one, and then the 6th time, he'll go 3 or 4 jumps before he turns. That's just part of him. I wish I could figure it out. He'd be a short rounder day in and day out if that wasn't part of him. But like I said, he's good to go as a breeding bull, and he's a nice bull on his bad days, but he's a great bull on his good days. And we're going to sell him. That's lot 4. Lot 5 is 50H. Clash is his name. He's the own son of Manava, futurity world champion. Maybe even won the Derby. I don't know. He was in the top 2 or 3 or 4 in the Classic and Derby, and the whole way through. And Wired Wish is on the bottom. Out of a cow number 50Z, which an 32 daughter, which we got along really good with that cow. And this bull has been 93, as many as 93, been over 90 2 or 3, 4 times maybe, and in the futurity. And he's a 4-year-old now. Bucked him a little bit when he was 3, and been bucking him some now when he's 4. And he just looks like a good team bull. He kicks through it. He gets off the ground and bucks. He stretches out and kicks, but he doesn't really break over, and he's not going to jerk him down on his head. He just kind of picks his head up at the top of his jump, and I think he would be an outstanding team bull. If you got him, he's one of those bulls that carries his little kind of an easy keeper. He didn't take much feed to keep him in really good shape. And when he was a futurity calf, you had to get him lightened up to get the best out of him. And I think that's going to be part of him still. So that'd be the deal with him. Just lighten him up and probably be a team bull. I think they'd be 88 on him. They rode him really good, and he had a good day, they'd be 90. You know, that's just, that's about the deal on him. The next lot will be 6. This will be a breed bull, be a full brother to the world champion Long John. This bull's number is E10, of course, showtime over 5'10", over 4. And I don't have any videos where we bucked this bull. And I don't know, I guess he got, the best I could remember, he got crippled when he was a young calf, and he's a big, long-legged, stand-up, just a specimen to look at. At all the Long John sons I've had, or Long John, the full brothers to him, and Long John sons as far as that goes, this is the best looking bull. He might be the best looking bull on the place. And he'll make you think he's good enough, sound enough to buck, and then when you get him kind of really moving around a little bit, he'll get to swinging one of his back legs. It's his back right, but he'll literally just kind of swing it. And if I didn't think he had so much value as a breeding bull, I would say, let's try and see if, maybe there's nothing wrong with him. Maybe that's just kind of his gait or whatever. But I've seen bulls, I've seen some great bulls over the year that kind of done that, and they bucked hard every time. But I haven't bucked him. So buck him if you want. I wouldn't probably recommend it just because, like I say, I think the way he's put together and as athletic as he is, the way he moves around, it's even with that flat tire on the back, he still moves around as good as any of them. So, and we've got along. I've bred a lot of those sons, those Showtime sons, and I've bred a lot of the full mates to Long John, and so far I've not been disappointed in any of them. They've all they've all produced well. The next lot will be lot 7, 169H, tricked out, Hocus Pocus son, out of a D69, a Yippee Hi Yay, out of T48, which would be a full sister to Crazy Train. So this bull's bred to the hilt, and he really, really bucked as a 2-year-old. But he wouldn't turn right there. He would always go 2 on or 3 or 4, but he would really get in there and kick. And he's a Brennel, little motley faced bull, and had a ton of ability. And I jerked him out of the pasture and bucked him, and he turned back and handled good. He was real, and still is, really handles well. Got good manners. He's just a nice bull to be around, and throwed him on the truck and took him to, entered him at a classic. He was 88, I think, and bucked hard and took him a couple more deals. He turned back right in the gate to the right, and I took him to 2 or 3 bull rides and got along pretty good. And then the last time I took him, he turned back there, and in about 6-7 seconds he jumped out of it, and I hadn't bucked him since. So he didn't end it on a great note, and I just be honest with you, I just threw him to the wolves. I put the fire on him, and he'll come back and buck. There's no doubt in my mind he'll be back and buck hard. I'd recommend putting him on the right and letting him go a couple jumps and get going. When he turns back right in the gate to the right, he doesn't have quite the intensity that he does out of the left, where he goes a couple jumps. But a really stout made, good, nice bull that needs to go in the truck. Like I said, easy to get along with, easy to handle, and gets along with the other bulls. You can kick him in with another one bull, or you can kick him in with 10 of them, and he'll just get in there and make friends. He's a nice bull to be around, nice bull to put on the truck. Our next lot's going to be 958G, the heater. He's a 173X, hard twisted son. Dam's 58B, 65Z is her sire. So heater, they've been as many. I think they win Bernal on him last year. One of the best bull ridings we put on in a while, and they rode 10 or 12 bulls that rodeo, and I think every one of them that got a check was right around 90, and I think they were 93.5 on 958G there, and can sure enough be the deal. He's a Brennel ball-faced bull and gets off the ground and kicks through it and can be a special animal. And I think in the right hands, he'll go back to the NFR or go wherever you want to go. He got in a bad habit, and I think I got him about broke from it now. As he was turning out of there backwards, and at the PBR deals, they frown on you tailing them out of there, helping them out of there. So it's kind of hard to hold them in the air when they want to come out of there backwards with a rope around their flanks and all that business. And anyway, he got in the habit of coming out backwards out of the right, and we moved him to the left, and he's not as good over there. So we've kind of battled back and forth. Now, the last few times we bucked him on the right, he'll turn out there and get it to the right. I think we got all those kinks worked back out, and he'll be good to go. The next lot is going to be lot 10. That'll be 6G, a bruiser son out of a wagon burner daughter. And she's out of 997W, which is the dam to 397A, a world champion futurity bull. Frequent flyer. There you go. His name. The names get me. But this bull, we've hauled him some last year to the rodeos, and he'll turn right in the gate to the left, and if he gets too close, he'll take a couple of backwards jumps and go back right or left. He's a pretty neat bull. Not a whole lot more to say about him, really. He just weighed 1,400 pounds, red, little uphorn bull, and turn back there and buck hard. He's a nice bull, and a few more. He probably don't have 4 or 5 rider trips, and he's coming 5-year-old. So nice bull, ready to go to work. Next lot's going to be 12, 959G, Wicked Warrior. He's a Magic Maker's son on the damn side Inferno. This bull can be pretty dadgum special. He's gets him off the ground and kicks and is pretty dadgum salty. And as a futurity calf, he would have been as good a one as I had, but he wouldn't turn within 3 jumps. And you could leave the let-out gate open and he'd go 1 or 2 and buck like crazy. Wouldn't dare go out the gate. He'd turn back and buck, but he just needed a little encouragement to get shortened up. And with a rider, he'll leap and kick and come left or right. He went right. I took him to the bull team deal in Vegas, and he went 2 and went right. I've never seen him do that before until I put some money up. But he looks like to me he would ride good. And a few of the guys that's been on him said that's not the case. But I've seen a few guys that ride him right to the whistle or make the whistle, and he's marked his highs 44.5 or 45, maybe 45 once. But sure enough, nice bull, bucks hard, and I would say he'd be a team bull for sure. But the only issue I've had with him is he'll lay down in the chute. So and I put some ropes over him there. We had a little training session on how not to lay down there, and we put some ropes over him, left him for a couple hours, and brought him back in the next day, and he laid back down, so we held him down for a little bit longer. Anyway, we did that a few days there in a row, and we bucked him the other day, and he stood really good. Didn't think about laying down, so maybe that worked. But that's the only drawback to the bull is, and he's not bad in the chute per se. He just wants to lay down. So the next lot's going to be 14, 917G. Talk to Me Goose is his name. He's by Wild Goose out of Fire Hazard daughter that goes back to Y17, a really good cow that's actually, she might be, I believe she's a full sister to one of my great bulls. I can't think of his name now, but his number was, no, that can't be right. His number was, yeah, that's right. She's a flush mate to Y16. She's Y17. So anyway, I had him in the bull cell Texarkana. I just bucked him. He's about the same deal. When he was coming 4, I had him in Texarkana, and I run him in there and bucked him, and he'd have been 93 or 4 at the dummy. Just as good as you've ever seen one buck. Little painted up bramer and cool little looking bull, big hump and painted spots all over him and horns and the whole 9 yards. And I just wasn't going to take less than 30, 40,000 for him. And I've only got to buck him twice since then. And I entered him once and he wasn't good enough. He went a couple and went right. And then I sent him to a rodeo and he went a couple, 3, and I think he went left, but he wasn't good enough. he was a 20 and a half or whatever, 21 maybe. And I've had him buck hard here at the house. One time I got a kid to get on him and he turned back and bucked hard. But if we're not, he's had literally 4 trips and we're going to sell him as is. I don't have the time to, and got more of them coming up. So he might be a little project and he might be the baddest sucker walking. I don't know, but I know the athletic ability is there. I had a half brother to him that we just sold that was a bad cat. That was 817F, and so it's in there, and I think you gotta get it out of him. He just needs some outs, needs a job. The next lot's gonna be 15, the H18 live wired. He's a lifting live son out of Y27, a cross-wired daughter. This calf's been good from day one. We buck him out of the right, and he'll turn right there and kick and spin. Just sure enough a nice bull. Not gonna be a short rounder probably, but sure enough a good one. The one they're gonna want to come get on. The bull riders are gonna like him. I bucked him day before yesterday, and the boys that got on him want to know how much for him. They wanted to buy him for a practice bull. You know, that kid rode him 6 seconds, and but he's just in the gate to the right, and that's what he's going to do every time. I think he'd make a really nice team bull, nice rodeo bull, nice long round bull, and if you watch the videos on this calf, he was special with the dummy. Like, he got off the ground, broke loose, and really bucked. But with the rider, he don't get off the ground quite as much, and a little bit more timing, just not quite the intensity that he had with the dummy, but still a really nice bull. The next lot is 16 GO Showtime son out of T8, which makes him a full brother to 32Y Bruiser, and this bull got stifled when he was I guess it would have been early in his 4-year-old year. He got stifled, and I thought he was going to get past it, and I'm still not sure he's not. There's days he looks like he's 100%, and then there's days you can still see it. And I hate to try to buck him because I just don't know if that thing would come apart or what might happen. But he's a big brindle, and he's a specimen. I mean, you can he'll put his head up, and he's about half scary to get around, half scary to look at sometimes. But I like him a lot. So, and he's gonna cost a little something. You know, I might would entertain doing a partnership deal on this bull. You know, it's just anybody's interested in, give me a shout, and we might work something out. I might even do a lease on him. You know, I just hate to let go of him altogether. I think he might be the real deal. Like, as far as breeding goes, he's got you know, he's bred just like Bruiser was, of course, but he's just big and stout and got the attitude and the look and the whole deal. And he dang sure jumped and kicked and bucked with a dummy. So that was lot 16. Lot 17 is going to be 63H. Says here his name is Cooties. He's an OK brand son out of Z63, which is a full sister to Crosswired, and she'll also be the dam to Mr. Vaquero, grand dam, Mr. Vaquero. She's a really nice cow. She's had a lot of nice bulls, and I guess her daughters have also produced a world champion, at least one. This bull is in the gate to the right and kicks and bucks, got a lot of timing, gets up front end off the ground, does everything right. He broke his lip, or whatever they do when their lip falls down. He did that about 6 months ago, and he lost some weight, and it's taken a little bit to get him back in shape, and he's there now. He's ready to go. I think he'd be a perfect team bull. I I took him to Fort Worth there a few months ago, and he turned back right in the gate to the right and was up and down and kicking buck. And this boy had him, didn't look like he knew much about riding bulls, and he got him warmed up, you know. And actually, there were some team guys there. Danny Mason actually was one of them. Said, "Hey, how much for that one?" So it's I think he's the right kind. Them guys know what it takes to make the right team bull. And you know, I know they got the show, they got a buck hard, but they also got to have a little soft spot. And I think this bull might fit that criteria. The next bull is lot 18, lot 9G. I'm selling this bull as a breed bull. He's not sound to buck. He got himself crippled at some point in time, but he's bred to raise buckers. He's by Magic Maker, an own son of Magic Maker, which you guys know there's not going to be any more of them. And the ones, all there is what's on the ground, and there'll be very few of them made in the future because the semen is not very plentiful. But he's out of a Sweet Prose Bruiser daughter that goes and also back to a full sister to a crosswired. So just calf really bucked, had a lot of front end and really snatchy with the dummy. He would drop his front end and really kick, and just a nice bull. And he's a good looking, lanky made, really moves good. He's sure got a bad wheel in the back, but he still gets around and moves really good. I think he wouldn't have any trouble on cattle. He's semen tested and good to go. And I think his calves may be something pretty special. The next lot is 1920H. He's by Heartbreak Kid, out of a bruiser daughter that goes back to 25-111. That cow is E20. Actually, I guess I got her from Cheyenne Owens. But this bull will turn in the gate to the right and move forward. And, you know, I'd say he could be a team bull, but he's damn sure he'll step ahead on him. And, but, I don't know, pretty nice bull. He's only got 1 or 2 live outs with a cowboy. With a dummy, he'll turn back and buck, same deal. So that's kind of the deal on him. He's only had a couple outs, but out of the right, in the gate to the right, kind of step ahead a little bit, and got some kick and some front end. Pretty nice bull, and like easy to get along with, good in the chute, all that business. Had no trouble whatsoever in the chute with him. He was good, which is an issue anymore, as everyone knows. The next lot is 20, 73G is his fire brand. He's by Jelly Roll, out of a Long John daughter that goes back to 16-132. This calf has always bucked. He's coming 5 now. I've never had a cowboy on him, but from this yearling, 2-year-old, every time we've ever run him in there, he kicks and bucks. And I don't think it'll be any different with a cowboy. I bet he'll just kick and buck, spin. He'll look left sometimes and go right, vice versa. Sometimes just right in the gate to the right, out of the right. And you can buck him out of either side, and he'll go either way. There's no rhyme or reason to what makes him go one way or another that I've figured out. Of course, I've only bucked him with a dummy. But he's got a little backup with his deal. Like, he'll make him 2 or 3 rounds one way, and then he'll do a little backward jump and drop his front end and go the other way. He's pretty neat little bull, little cool little bull. Got a neat little personality about him, and I think you'll get along with him good. And that'll conclude Wednesday's offering, and we'll put up another preview for Thursday's lots tomorrow. Thank you.